at the 12 and 24-hour time. On the screen, I have the face of a clock, and I also have a table here. The table states the 12-hour and the 24-hour time for AM and PM. The 24-hour and the 12-hour time for AM, and then the 24-hour and the 12-hour time for PM as well. Now there's something you need to note here, okay? Let's look at the notes that I put underneath. Now the 12 and 24-hour clocks will read the same time during the AM hours, but there is a little bit of twist to that. Now look at the screen. Can you see the table where you have 12 a.m.? Do you see that the 12 a.m. time is actually different? The 12-hour and the 24-hour time is different? Yes, that's why I said there's a little bit of twist to that. The twist is that from 12 in the midnight to, okay, let me explain it to you this way. From 1 a.m. after the midnight, 1 a.m. after the midnight to 12:59 p.m. after the midday, the 12 and 24-hour clocks will read the same time. Now, of course, you know that the day has 24 hours. First 12 hours is from 12 in the midnight. We call it the 0 hour because that's the time that a day ends and another day begins. We call it the 0 time, the 0 hour. That's why we always say o'clock. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Oh, really? Yes, that's the reason. It's the 0 hour. Okay. All right. Now the first 12 hours is from 12, that's the 0 hour, to 1 minute before midday, or no, rather from 12 to 12 midday. Okay, the second 12 hours is from 12 midday all back again to the 0 hour, 12 in the midnight. Okay, so that completes the 24 hours of the day. But in reading the 12 and 24-hour time, you must note that the 24-hour time starts counting only during the PM hours. Okay, so that means 12 and 24-hour clocks read different time during the PM hours. Another little twist to that, it's from 1 p.m. that it starts reading. Of course, the PM hour starts by 12 midday, but then 12 midday up until 1 minute before 1 p.m. 12 and 24-hour times will still read the same time. But once it is 1 in the afternoon rather, then the 24-hour time changes to 13:00 p.m. and it counts that way 14, 15, 16, as you can see on the face of the clock, up until 12 in the midnight. Okay, it will still read 00 hour in the 12 midnight time. So that means the hours are still the same. The only time it starts, the hours are different rather. So the only time it reads the same time is when the time is 1 a.m. again after the midnight. Okay? All right, I know you understand that. And another thing I want you to know, the 24-hour time is read in 100 hours. I'll tell you how. 14:00 p.m. in the afternoon is already 2 hours after midday. So that's 2 p.m., right? Okay, how do you say the time if the time was written in 24 hours, just like I wrote 14:00? We would say the time is 1400 hours. What about 23:14 p.m.? 23:14 p.m. is already 11 hours and 14 minutes past midday. So the time is 2314 hours. Okay? All right. Now, so when you see something like this in your workbook or in your student book, it's not going to be strange to you. Okay? Now let's go to the next thing. Units of time. We mentioned the units of time the other time. We mentioned seconds, minutes, hours. We have months, we have year, we have decade, century. Maybe you even have a way of memorizing them. Like I remember I memorized this a long time ago. Like 60 seconds, that's 1 minute. 60 minutes, that's 1 hour. 24 hours, makes 1 day, and so on. So maybe you have your way of remembering this, because of course you have to know it by heart because of the times when you have to write your exams or do some exercises. Okay, so these are the units of times that we have. We'll be making reference to it from time to time if we have to convert units of time. Now look at this. If I said to you, like I said earlier, I'll be traveling in 1 week. I'll be traveling in 1 week. It's the same thing to say I'll be traveling in 7 days. What have I done? I only changed the unit of time. Okay? But the measure of time is the same. All right. Let's go to the next thing. All right, let's go to converting units of time. Converting units of time. Now, to convert from one unit of time to another, for example, from minutes to hour, hour to minutes, minutes to year to days, and so on. Now, there are some things you need to know. Just keep to the rules. Okay? Remember the rules and keep to the rules. You will have no problems. What's the rule of conversion? The first thing, identify the units of length that are in the question you're treating. For example, convert 2 minutes to seconds. What are the 2 units of time we're dealing with? Minutes and seconds. Okay? The second thing, check the conversion charts. That's the unit of time. We're dealing with units of time. Okay, yes, I said that earlier. Minutes and seconds. What does the chart say about minutes and seconds? It says 60 seconds makes 1 minute. Okay, 60 seconds makes 1 minute. So just have that in mind. Oh, pardon me. I said you're going to be checking identifying the units of time that are involved. And then the second thing, are we converting from smaller to bigger units? If you're converting from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you divide. But if you're converting from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply. Now let's take the 2 minutes example I just gave. 2 minutes to seconds. I already said that the unit is minutes and seconds. And what's the standard time? 60 seconds make 1 minute. Now let's convert it to seconds. Are we converting from bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger? Of course, you know that minutes is bigger than the seconds. So we're converting from bigger units to smaller units. So what do? Multiply. And what do we multiply? 2 minutes by the 60 seconds that make 1 minute. And if we multiply that, we have 120 seconds. Bravo! You did it before me. Yeah, correct. All right, let's see what we have next.